our 1 year anniversary. We haven't really started yet,
Hey.
even though we kind of have started yet. So let me do this. Welcome to our latest edition of TNT.
Boom! Y'all boom it out, boom it out, boom it out, boom it out, boom it out.
I am Pastor Joe with the great.
Oh, are we live? Not yet. Okay,
Okay,
now we
well,
can be live
all right.
on TNT on Instagram. Y'all can go
IG.
there too.
So we do welcome again.
Yeah, and we can do it again for the IG.
For
That
the
people not in there
IG.
yet, but for the
Okay,
IG.
it's all right.
Do it again. Boom it out.
Welcome to our latest of TNT.
Boom! Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yep, all that great stuff. I am Pastor Joe with the great Michael LaMail the First.
Man, oh man.
And we are super duper excited about TNT tonight. Thank you, Karen, for the shout out. I do,
And for the assist.
and,
She
and
did
for
a
the
Scottie
assist.
Pippen
That's right.
today for the, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
right. Oh, look, she hooked us up. We got somebody over
Oh, she
there.
joined over there. Okay, TNT is live. TNT_sessions is live on IG right now for the first time ever. Anybody who has it, if you're on Facebook, we love you on Facebook, but jump on over so we get that traffic to IG.
Jump on the IG.
Jump right on the IG. TNT_sessions on IG. And we're going to make this moving forward after today. After, somebody say after. After today, we're going to have it where you have to be a subscribed. You have to be a subscriber before you can comment on YouTube. What you think? I think that's.
I love it. I love it.
So you got to like, share,
and subscribe.
See that? Before you can even comment.
That's right.
Ain't that good?
I love it.
And you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. So you can't, when you hear it, you got to get that first and then wait.
That's it.
Patience is a virtue.
It's a virtue.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Well, her price is far above rubies.
Searched all over, couldn't find nobody. High and low. You know what? This is the thing, though. That word right there, virtue, a virtuous woman. That word in the Hebrew, it actually means valor.
Yep.
So she's strong.
Yep.
Unyielding.
Yep.
Disciplined.
Yep. We should do a TNT on the Proverbs 31 woman.
That's gonna be next week. Just like that. It's very simple. And we still gonna come back, swing back around to Zechariah.
It'd be nice to have some women,
actual
or a woman, show up.
You, ma'am. You, ma'am.
You, ma'am.
Hey, I see you. I see you, baby girl Coop, over here in the live on TNT sessions. Listen, I'm just kind of encouraging anybody on the YouTube as well. While you have your phone, if you're doing it on 2 different devices, we don't mind if you stop here and go there. We don't mind. We still connected, but we would appreciate if you open your other device, if you have one, and go to the IG channel. This is the first time we're going live on the IG channel.
First time live on IG. We got a shout out from, I'm going to say the great Howard LaMail the Second.
Oh, he up there? Where he at?
He's up there on Facebook.
On Facebook.
He's on the Facebook.
On the Book of Face. Tell him to get on the TNT_sessions entertainer DJ World Live, whatever his long name is.
DJ Moby D.
And go on TNT_sessions and like that.
Come on into the IG.
Reverend, did we put the link in the morning prayer thread? Did you do that?
I did not. I failed to do that.
Karen, tell Karen. Someone right now.
Karen or Ashley or whoever.
Put the thread, the link for this TNT inside of the morning prayer thread.
Yep.
Please, man, please. Thank you.
Put it on there. Dorinda Williams, one of my other dear sisters.
Hey, sis.
I think she's commenting on next week that it's going to be a good one.
Right.
We're going to exegete Proverbs 31.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Oh, yeah. And I started this because I received a shout out from Karen, just received another shout out from Josephine, congratulating us on 1 year. So October 2nd, for those of you who are connected to us, Church One Hampton Roads, of which I am the pastor, is going to be 1 year old officially. And we're going to have a great celebration at 1:30 right here where we are in our disclosed location. Right here, 1:30. and we would love if you could come and show some love.
Please, ma'am.
to
Please,
to
sir.
to the to the church that covers this ministry of TNT, and it's going to be a fantastic time. I This has just been a phenomenal season. And so my wife and I are definitely super excited. Want to invite you. They told me that we're going to have some good food. So if you don't want to hear the word and you're just hungry and want to get a free meal, that's a good excuse to come to church, because while you are seeking physical food, you might find you get spiritually fed. And
Indeed.
we want to bring you into that. So thank you guys for the love and the support and the continued encouragement. And we're going to stand on the wall and keep doing what we do.
Listen,
until the
that's a
Lord
great
changes our
sentiment.
minds.
Stand on the wall, Doc.
Yep.
It used to be a source or a form of punishment. Remember being a kid?
Yep.
You had to stand on the wall.
You had to stand.
There's something about being quiet and still and disciplined in that moment, so you can be on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very, very
Put
important.
2 kids on the wall today. Won't say their names because
Say it, sir. Don't say it.
I
Don't
will
say
not
it.
say their names
Don't
just
say it.
because.
Put them on the wall.
A funny story though, if I can.
Please.
And I was telling my wife. The other day. See, I don't know. Should I tell it? Okay, I'm gonna tell
Yep.
it. So anyway, I have a child in my class, and I am this year I'm an inclusion teacher, which means that I have special children as well as what we call just regular kids. So one of my special kids, he decided that he wanted to fight me, and it is one of the cutest things that I've ever seen, because he's 8 years old. He's very weak, and he has no idea that I'm a grown man. So he challenges me to a fight every day. It's very funny. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. So he walks up to me and he hits me rapidly like this.
Right.
And it's more annoying than disrespectful, but in his mind, he's really going in.
Right.
Right. And so then when he doesn't see that working, he'll back up, he'll run, and he'll just jump into me. And he tries to knock me down. I'm gonna get you, right?
Wait, what?
And so either he sleeps or he's doing this, right? And so the other day, he was kind of plucking my nerves, and I told him, I said, let me tell you something, sir. The next time you hit me, I'm going to hit you back.
That part.
Like, you're not going to hit me. You don't want to lose your job. I said, yeah, I don't care about losing the job. The Lord takes care of me. But if you keep hitting me, I'm going to slam you right into this tree.
This is my brother right here, by the way. He is.
It is what it is. So he kept hitting me. And so I did some things. I will not say all of what I did. And I was telling my wife about it. She was weak. And so when I got to school today, he comes up to me and he says, "You're too big. I don't want to fight you anymore."
After you hit him.
I never said I hit him.
Oh, you didn't say you hit him. After there was some sort of executable. An executable.
Right. So but what's crazy, and I didn't tell my wife this part, the rest of the day, he stood beside me with his arms wrapped around me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not wanting to leave my side.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to be beside you. I just want to be beside you. I just want to be beside you. To the point that the other kids just got extremely jealous. Like, how you babying him up? What's going on? I'm like, y'all chill out, man. Y'all get some love at home.
Right.
It was just so funny though, when sometimes you have to stand your ground. And I guess I got a friend.
Stand your ground. Listen, we on 3 platforms, and it's amazing. It's growing.
I love it, man.
I need you all to like, share, and subscribe TNT on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe to the TNT_sessions on Instagram.
IG.
But then also, very, very important, our podcast.
Yes, go ahead. Talk about that.
Podcast. We are on, I have placed TNT sessions on Anchor.fm.
Yes, Anchor.fm.
I've placed it on Apple Podcasts. I've placed it on Spotify. We are trending now. We're trying to, but with your help, we will be.
We're trending everywhere. We are.
Need you all to trend with us and make sure that you stay connected. I always like to say, follow us because we're going somewhere. So stay connected. And Reverend, hit that like right there, kill that one right there with the black one on the red, the black one on the Yeah.
Our dear friend on the ones and twos.
Mr. Jesse
Mr.
right there.
Jesse.
It's the one over there on the red, I think, though, brother. Try that one. Try that one you got in your hand. Yeah. Jesse is a world-renowned filmmaker and producer of filmmaking, making films. And yeah, so we're glad to be.
Shout out to Jesse.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kareem is the GOAT Felliston.
Cathedral of Faith.
Cathedral of Faith.
Bishop
Hardy.
Hardy. Yes, sir.
Amen.
And Jesse said that holiness is right.
Still right.
He said, IG a little slow. My brother said, okay, we're going to fix it. This is the first time we've ever gone live on TNT Sessions on Instagram. But I appreciate you jumping in.
Absolutely.
And staying there. We're working it out in real time. So thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, tap in with us. Tap in with us. People get ready. There's a train coming. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. Need is faith. Hear the big wheels turning. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. Ooh.
Wasn't that like a great era when the soul R&B singers could
do it? Listen,
infuse some.
You talking real
some spiritual music.
You talking so good, brother.
And it was like cool, like yo.
Yeah, I mean, you really could do, because Al Green got on stage and did a prayer. You remember this one?
Saw it the other day. I think Rodney Jerkins posted it.
Did it? Because I put it in my thing to repost. I was like, yo, B-Man, just B-Man, no DJ. I don't know if you know just B-Man. B-Man, no DJ. He local DJ who's now on an international level. People tweet him all the time.
What's up, Lindo?
But yeah, he did a remix of the Al Green joint. Oh my! So I had to text like, yo, bruh, you are killing it. It's a prayer on Soul Train. I think it was Soul Train. He did the whole Our Father, which y'all have, and the groove was groovy. And then he sung. Oh man. But he's Al Green, Al Grits Green, doing a prayer, the Lord's Prayer on Soul Train.
Can I say something?
What can have more soul than the Lord's Prayer?
Then on Soul Train. Are you kidding me?
I mean, the iron is too thick.
Get out of here.
That part.
when my Michael Jordan aspirations fell to the wayside, the idea of being Al Green for me is like just the epitome of life. He's a preacher, he's a pastor, he's a bishop, but he's also a singer that dabbles in what we call soul music. Sometimes it's soul music for him and God. Sometimes it's soul music for relationships. I think it's awesome.
I do too. My brother would think he's a bishop too. It might be closer to Bishop Magic Don Juan, but he's a bishop no less.
He's definitely
he actually can preach.
Yeah,
Bishop Don Magic Juan. Man, so tonight we're gonna do the 4th installment. We got calls, texts. Listen, people are excited because they were learning Bible. That's what TNT is all about.
That's it.
Discussing Bible and Bible truth and unpacking it in a way that we can all kind of relate to and learn from, right?
Amen.
Not traditional. And today we're going to do Would You Rather?
Part 4.
All right. And we're going to work on these Bible verses at the same time so we can learn our scriptures. That's the whole point. So we can be learning our scriptures at the same time. I'm not sure what just happened, but it just at the same time. In the self-same,
Self-same hour.
That part. Oh, man. All right, let me send it again. I think I just hit something and it went away.
What's that?
My goodness. I had it on the screen right here. And it went.
The questions?
Yes, sir.
For those of you who are new, TNT is Tuesday night teaching, Tuesday night theology. We have been doing this for quite a while. And about a month ago, my brother said, we want to do something a little different. And we have a game show, if you will, called Would You Rather, where he asks me questions that are biblically based that I have no idea what they're about. And we discuss them. We did part 1. And our boomers and others requested a part 2. So we did a part 2 and we did a part 3. And so now we didn't take a break. We did something different last week.
We did. We talked about Haggai, and it was called Unfinished Business. Run that back. That was actually, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
That really, really was.
I was getting fed.
Yep.
even while feeding, if you will.
We're going to talk about that virtuous woman, like you said, coming up, but we are going to swing back around, like I said, to Zechariah, following Haggai, Zechariah, and see what his plight and purpose was as well.
Absolutely. Those stories are connected.
They are, can't get around
it. So this is edition 4 of Would You Rather?
4, yes.
He's going to present me with some questions that basically say, would you rather this or that?
Yep.
I'll answer them as best I can, and hopefully we'll get some background information as to why I'm making my choices. I'm sure my brother will also answer some.
And we're certainly will.
The opportunity to answer as well from Facebook, from YouTube Live, and from IG. And hopefully, if you put your comments in, we will get to them. If not, blame it on the rain.
All right. And when you know the scripture reference, put that in the comments, wherever you are, in your home, in your car. Put it in there. But Sherry, I see you right there, brother.
Oh, look, we got a huge boom from the great.
Boom. Yes. Get
your thesaurus out.
Yes.
Sherry Gyra.
So this first one, I will give you a hint for those of you who are just jumping in. It is in the Gospels.
All right.
The
Gospels.
So you can pick which one. All right. Because some of the stories that are in Mark's version are not in another person's version. Like Luke told his perspective of some of the things and did not include what, say, Matthew saw or said.
Yes. Because, I mean, if you
start from that.
Studying the Gospels, then you should know that they all wrote with different intentions. Mark basically is what they call kind of the snapshot. It's the shortest one of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew was very specific and trying to address a Jewish congregation.
Yes.
Which is why all intertwined throughout the Gospel of Matthew, you will see, and it was written, and this fulfilled this, because these readers would know the Old Testament, and he was showing them that Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament. Luke was writing to a primarily Greek audience. John just decided, I'm gonna flip the script on everybody, came with the prologue, and didn't necessarily write in chronological order, but John is really writing a theological book as to the revelation of Jesus. And from what we understand, Mark, an African man from Cyrene, by the way, was writing from the perspective of Peter. He was basically Peter's biographer, if you will, but it really is a biography of Jesus. So
and then make sure the door is open. But we are going to go. I'm going to try to move this IG camera at some point in a second to right here, so we have a good perspective.
All right.
So I'm a little bit off of it right there, but we're going to keep going. So the first question: would you rather sit at the feet of Jesus while he teaches? I need to know where this is in Scripture. I'm giving you the hint that's in the Gospels. Sit at the feet of Jesus while he teaches. There are several references to that. So you're not going to be wrong.
Not going to be wrong.
Or prepare supper for Jesus and the disciples in the kitchen. And it's more like in the, the Mary and Martha.
Right, Mary and Martha.
Right, but would you rather prepare dinner for Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say for the Last Supper, then you can find that. Okay.
Right.
You prepared the Last Supper for Jesus and the disciples? Or would you rather sit at the feet of Jesus while he teaches? Man.
Wow. That is a great question.
Which one? That is.
The super spiritual answer is sit at the feet while he is teaching. You can't really go wrong with that.
Right.
But as somebody who likes to cook, particularly
he can cook too, y'all. He can cook.
Thank you.
Pastor do most of the cooking. Listen.
I do a little something.
He burns it.
When I have time, think about the idea that you were the person who made the Last Supper. That's tight. No. But I'm gonna go super spiritual because you get to learn from Jesus.
That's good.
The archetype of all humanity.
So for me, I would say I think that I would want to cook the dinner. And here's why. Because while you're eating, you're going to get fed.
Yeah, that was a good reason.
Like you're talking to the creator at the same time, right?
Right.
And so there is none left undone or untouched. You know what I mean?
Right. Wawa made my last supper. I'm not mad. Did you get a good sub?
It was the last if you ate it at Wawa.
Well, I need some food right now. So hopefully by the time
Let's see
I
if we
get
can
home-
make this work,
Soon
Pastor.
as I get home. Sit at his feet and be blessed, says Superintendent Joseph Williams.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. I told you the super spiritual people, they gotta say sit at his feet.
Really?
Of
I
which-
think that's
what
good.
I
That
said.
ain't bad, is it?
That is crazy. Yeah.
All right.
All type of stuff around here.
Trying to get you all to see better. All right. Now, yeah, I think because eating and talking kind of go hand in hand. Now, personally, I don't personally like to eat and talk. But in this context, I understand they want to eat, and there's going to be questions, and we have reference in the reference book that he taught some things at the Last Supper.
Yeah. I mean, if it's
He shared.
just the idea that it's the Last Supper is just amazing. Period. And it's just, it's the most famous meal of all time. Basically. So to have prepared it is kind of a notch on the belt that nobody else probably can say.
Sis said John 11, sit at his feet.
Sit at his feet. All right.
She's somebody's wife.
Okay, she knows a little something. A little something.
Eldris.
Right.
Oh, I think I'm punch drunk. I'm just a little tired. That is funny to me.
Get your pep.
In your step. Sit at the feet. You got one coming, son. All right, here we go. Would you like to face Goliath with only a stone and a slingshot, or wander in the desert for 40 years?
Oh, that's so easy. Give me Goliath.
Man.
Because that wandering would drive me literally, probably, I shouldn't say literally. I think it would drive me crazy.
You know what I think the thing is for me? To know the information. What if you didn't know about the end? Because you're making a presumption based on your knowledge. Do you agree?
Exactly. Because you have to, this is the only way this kind of works. You have to kind of imagine that you don't know the outcome, right? So if I'm facing Goliath, it's pretty much going to be him or me, right? So this is imminent death. Or I can just wander around the wilderness for 40 years. And I'm still going to choose Goliath for me personally.
Right.
Hopefully, hoping that I'm being true to the idea that I don't know the outcome. But just like wandering for 40 years, the idea of that drives me crazy. Like I hate sitting in traffic for 10 minutes. So kind of be
that.
in the same.
I can dig that. Some people are satisfied with complacency. I'll talk about that.
All of them to an extent were. I mean, but let's keep it real. Let's not disparage them for their wandering, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, they did walk out of Egypt with the spoils of Egypt. They did see Pharaoh and his army drown in the Red Sea, as the great Negro spiritual says. They were fed essentially by God with manna, which nobody has ever eaten. Nobody really knows what it is. That's the name of it. What is this? He fed them quail. Their shoes didn't wear out. They hung out with Moses every day. They saw Moses' face shine. I mean, these people experienced so many miracles from God in their wandering. And a lot of times I think that we read the Bible with this kind of super spiritual lens, and we look at them as if they failed in their assignment, which they didn't make it to the promised land, but God's grace and his hand was absolutely on their lives on a level almost as good as anybody that's ever lived.
That's real good. That's real good. Well, in the TNT, I'm looking at a comment, says not always complacent. Oh, hey, Eric, not always complacency. There was a lesson in the journey. Absolutely true. I would like to submit, for the sake of this conversation and dialogue there, that and again, this is all because we have the reference already.
Right.
But they didn't have to be there.
No,
right?
no.
And so, what I present was saying that people are kind of and they're attached to familiarity
Mm-hmm.
in a way that it makes them have to be in the wilderness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And wisdom would say that we don't need a lesson. We just be given the information and then we can assess it and don't have to necessarily be in it or go through it. They had to go through it to get the lesson. So you're absolutely, I agree with you. But I would like to think and say, like we say on TNT all the time, Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the principal thing. So try to use that and not go through that. Get the lesson prior to.
It just hit me kind of when you were talking, in that one could make an argument that David learned the lesson that they didn't, because the journey was really supposed to take them about 40 days. That's the gestation period,
Right.
essentially. And there's that number 40 again in the Bible,
Right.
right? If you study, then you know that Goliath was troubling Israel for 40 days.
Right.
And that was the time in which he was throwing all the wolf tickets. And then when David shows up, basically day 40 ends that season. And I would say that David, embodied the truth of what they missed, in that something that should have taken them a month and a half ended up taking them an entire span of a generation, because they didn't understand that they were the people who were supposed to walk into the promised land. And if David doesn't understand that the reason why God sent a giant was so that he could kill it, then Israel might have been in the same predicament for that long. Because you think about it, as much as Goliath was troubling Israel, he never attacked. He was just talking trash.
Whew. You talking really good now, sir.
And they were vexed and scared by what he said, never by what he did. The person that
really
took action
good.
was David.
That's really, really, really good. How many of us have been off of our square off of just what might could be?
Yep.
The thought of it. Man, that's really, really good, sir.
Yep, absolutely. We do it
That's
all the
really,
time.
really, oh yeah, we all do. We're really, really, really good.
Yep.
And for we were talking about where it is, 1 Samuel. Now I would tell you, 1st and 2nd Samuel is like a novel. If y'all like them Hallmark Lifetime movies, or like a thriller, or if you like a whodunit, listen.
Yep.
I need you to get. Am I right, Pastor?
Yep. Putting it out there, and I'm putting it in the atmosphere right now. I got 2 award-winning filmmakers. They're gonna make some great David movies. I can see.
You know what? For about 20 years, that's been on my heart.
Just make sure that the guy looks true to his ethnicity.
You already know.
Nature.
That's why it ain't gonna be a Hollywood movie. Listen, 2 white women wrote The Woman King. That's another story. Let me drink my drink.
Well.
I just want us to be able to tell our own stories. Okay, let's go back to the thing.
Let's get to it.
Oh, it's funded by a white guy too.
Smart people.
Can we tell our stories?
I hear it's phenomenal. I haven't seen it.
Over 18 million first out the gate.
Out the gate. Woke up.
I want to tell the story of the Haitian Revolution.
You can have a tough time telling that one. They got some documentaries on it.
Is anybody going to support it? Is the question.
I've watched a few documentaries on it. That is an amazing story.
Spielberg, Color Purple. Sounds like Black Americans. Moby says Spielberg, Color Purple. Yes. Color Purple, great film. Spielberg, he forsook a lot to make that film. He sacrificed a lot. He was ostracized for a while. Right? And they didn't win any awards.
Not one. Should have won all of them. At least, it should have won at least 2 or 3.
Bro, the score, the visuals, the acting. Whoopi Goldberg never did none of this great sense, brother. Ghost was really good.
And Whoopi was fantastic.
Oh,
fantastic.
Danny Glover, loved to hate him in that movie.
Yep.
I mean, everybody. Characters
that you hate, they're doing a fantastic job.
That's the point. They're doing it. They are doing it. All right, let's get back to this.
Here we are.
Let's get back to this. It is, would you rather carry the Ark of the Covenant across the Jordan River or carry Jesus's cross to Golgotha? This is a bonus question. What was the name of the man who helped carry Jesus's cross?
Bonus
What
question.
was the name of the man?
Whoever answers first gets a free episode of TNT.
What was the name of that man? Do you know? Do you know? All right.
Man, this is a tough one because we know the name of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Cyrene, just like Mark was.
But we don't know what is going through his mind.
Mm-mm.
It's a split-second decision.
Yep. We seeing some people saying the cross.
And say he was black. Yep.
He was black.
Definitely that.
Anybody else want to say before we say?
Anybody?
Is that the great Christopher Thomas?
Wow.
Saw him Sunday. What's up,
My,
brother?
my.
You right. He still won. Sometimes you have to lose
That
the
part.
win. That's
That's
right.
great.
That's right. We
That's
all
right.
know. That's right.
C.B. Thomas, the great one himself.
Great. We've talked about the great C.B. Thomas
Yeah.
a number of times
on
TNT.
TNT. He didn't know that, but
He has no
we're
idea.
talking about you, brother.
Songs for the Common Man, a classic right now.
For,
Still ahead of his time.
The Total Man.
The Total Man. I'm
That-
sorry.
that's
My
it.
fault.
The Total Man.
Still
Yeah.
ahead
Yeah.
of its time. He was at my
The
daddy's church
devil
home.
meant it for my bad, but Jesus meant for my good.
Classic. Did you see
Very,
that?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Classic.
That-
This is pre-Kurt Franklin. People.
and influenced all the people you hear today. I'm talking about all of them.
Pre-Kurt.
You could put Houston in there, Kurt Franklin in there,
Oh yeah.
put Donald Lawrence in there.
Put them all.
They even if they don't say, they are familiar with him. I promise you that.
He played,
That's
he
played
played
right.
before all of them.
Rance Allen, him.
But the album, the choir, first of all,
Frank-
okay, we're gonna get back to it.
Yeah.
New Community may have been the greatest music department in Virginia.
I'm a part of that. I was a part of that.
I know Cathedral of Faith is coughing hard. back
Right.
there.
I know.
But
they are.
at the
I
end of
know
the
they
day, I'm not trying to be. First of all, I'm second. Okay, I'm second J. I'm second J.
Right,
I'm talking about first J.
Right.
I'm gonna give some shout outs to fifth J as well.
Right.
But in terms of, let's just being totally honest, for a church choir,
Right. Just
no,
be
no,
honest. Right.
church department, let's talk about Jeff Owens.
Jeff Owens.
Are you kidding me?
Mark Thomas?
Mark Thomas? Are you kidding me?
Man.
Christopher B. Thomas?
I
Charles
made
Thomas?
some.
Are you kidding me?
I used to like paint on the clothes. It used to be a big thing back in the ancient days to draw something. Mark gave me some jeans to put a base on. I put a Warwick base on them jeans, hand drew it and signed it, and he paid me for that, man.
Those
so
guys.
good. We are tasked.
Okay, all right.
Brother.
The
Listen,
maestro, he's trying
it
to get
was
us
so
back.
great,
Man,
Chris.
them guys,
I'm glad to be a part.
just part of my personal inspiration as a musician was just one day to be like them.
TL Joyner?
I was gonna say
Okay.
that next, but I was trying not to,
Brother.
because he wants us to stay on task.
The greatest.
Anyway,
The
go
greatest.
for real.
I think I would say the cross. What would you say, Reverend?
So the cross makes sense because now you get to witness the crucifixion. But let me say this for me, right? I am probably one of a few handful of Christians who has never seen the Passion of the Christ because I don't want to watch it. And
I can dig that.
I think it would vex me. So for that reason, I'm going with the Ark of the Covenant. And to see the Jordan kind of part at flood time, you see, it didn't just part at regular time, because you can walk across the Jordan sometimes when it's not at flood season. But at flood time, it's almost impossible to cross. For me, I'm gonna choose that one just because I don't think I would want to see the suffering of my Lord.
Mhm.
It would hurt my heart a little bit.
Wow.
We love you too, boss.
What do you say? What do you say? What? I love you, brother. What do you say?
Ark of the Covenant. Would you rather carry the Ark of the Covenant through the
Cross-
Jordan,
right.
the Jordan, or bear the cross of Jesus Did anybody put? Oh, somebody put his name in.
Yeah.
Delia put his name.
Yep, that's right. And Moby said, "Simple, Simon." These words are really have context. They come from something. Believe me.
That's right.
Believe me when I tell you. Let's see. Would you rather name the animals? Name all the animals.
Okay.
That would be Adam, right?
Adam, yes.
Or build the ark.
Oh, you already know what I'm saying now.
I do.
You already know.
What would you say? Would you rather build the ark or name all the animals? Now, consider the price that comes with both.
Yep.
I know what
outside of Jesus and Elijah, Noah is probably my favorite Bible character. Just because I just am fascinated with the idea that he trusted whatever he heard to the place where he would do something that just never had been done before, and anticipating something that had never existed on the history of life. That type of faith baffles my spirit. So for me, it's Noah, easy.
Noah. Karen said Noah. And JLW, going back, JLW said the ark. I saw that, JLW.
My cousin Lorenzo says name the animals. That's a good one, though.
That is. Why? Put it in the chat right now. Why would you say name the animals, Lorenzo? What would be choosing that? Why? Over the ark? I think I would have to say, now, mind you, we are making these answers from the knowledge we have. Pastor and I talk about this all the time.
Right.
Noah didn't have a reference of rain
or
of flooding, right?
Of ark.
Of ark.
Had no reference of ark.
There's a great comedy sketch from Bill Cosby, the legend, about Noah building the ark.
Yep.
And Moby and I laugh about that all the time. And he says, Noah, and Noah is like, yeah. He says, it's me, the Lord. He's like, yeah, right. Yeah, because he didn't have a reference.
Right. Couldn't go to Sunday school.
It's me, Lord.
Right.
And then, and then he said, I want you to build an ark 300 cubits. He says, yeah, what's an ark? Then he says, yeah, what's a cubit?
Right.
Then, what's rain?
Like it's that? Right. But that's the embodiment.
You don't have a reference.
Right.
So I just want to be clear, we're making our answers based on our current knowledge.
Right.
And man, I think I would have to say, I would like to think that I would pick Noah because of the same reason Pastor said, the faith that took, that was beyond our current scope of grasp. We can't grasp that.
Yep. The answers that are coming in about the animals, though, are bringing a good point in that, again, that's pre-fall.
You're right.
So you're having a connection with the Almighty Great I Am, I like to call him.
That's really good.
That is different than everybody else. You're walking with God daily. He's literally talking to you and saying, look, whatever you call it, that's what it is. So there was an aspect of that again is something that none of us can experience because all of our lives are post-fall, right? We don't know what the pre-fall life was like. And some people just might be animal lovers. Obviously, if you can name them, you're hanging out with them, you're not scared of them, they're not scared of you.
Right.
That
is kind of cool
thing. Yeah.
I will tell you this. I would submit this, that the JLW said build the ark. I would say that they both have that sentiment because both of them, Noah and Adam, were specifically connected with the great Almighty, the Almighty Great I Am.
Yep.
They were connected and talking with him.
Yeah,
like they were in tune. They were tapped in a literal sense, like they were tethered right directly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they have that same thing going on.
Yeah. Yep.
They have that same thing.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Yeah.
I see you, my brother Jasper Gatlin, great musician himself and preacher.
Oh, JLW. Oh, that's Jorinda. Jorinda said, but I like the creative part of naming the animals. Yeah. And Moby was saying, I would want to do all the things you all are asking.
Right. All of the above, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Lorenzo says because of God empower with the knowledge to do anything. And of course, we could not have TNT without the great Ruth Williams. What about naming roaches?
What about roaches?
It's a great name, though. La Cucarachas.
Yeah. Yeah, roaches. Listen, roaches are important with cleaning things, just like flies. I don't like them, but they're important.
They're important. All of the insects, they have a purpose.
They do.
You can actually Google these things if
You
you want
can. I haven't figured out totally about mosquitoes, but that's on me. Jody got a purpose greater.
to. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. I don't know.
Can't take it.
I don't
Let's
know.
get to a couple of more of these, man.
Here we go.
All right, the next one. Would you rather? Oh man, would you rather betray Jesus or deny Jesus? Now, let's get some more backstory Bible study. Betray Jesus. I think most people might know, even if they're not in church like that, who that is. That would be Judas.
Judas, the Greek name for Judah.
Right, Judas. Now, the other guy is Petra, Peter, the rock. Who said, man, I ain't gonna do that. Listen, you my guy. I'm always here with you. I got you, me and you. I don't know that dude. Wasn't me. God.
I don't know.
Right. You know he said it with his chest because
Right.
it's Peter.
It's in the text.
Man.
Started using some words.
Some words. I want that faith. Moby says, I want to walk with God. I want that creativity. I want to meet Jesus. I want to kill the enemy with the power of God. I want to work for God. Brother, go on and listen, that's your salvation right there. You're doing it. You're doing it.
There it is.
Right there, just your desire for it. I'm doing a show right now. I have it on Second Coming. This show right there, Second Coming. They just gave us these. It's free admission. Y'all contact me, anybody want to go. It's a workshop of this show. They want to get it, but I'm playing Peter. So you see, I'm kind of advertising.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Peter, I'm playing Peter, and this is kind of interesting to me. And they're taking the perspective of right after Jesus's death. Mary is at the tomb. That's how the show starts, and how the human traits and characteristics that the people are really dealing with on a human level. It's kind of awesome.
I can't wait to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
That because again, we do that a lot of times. We kind of sanctify the scriptures that they don't really need it. They're already holy. But we look at them from a very, sanctified lens, like these aren't real people. And if you go to the text, you'll find that even though they even though they saw Jesus resurrected, the end of John shows us that Peter and those guys went right back to doing what they were doing. They went back fishing. It's like, wow. So, they have to go through this process of transformation. They weren't just apostles, even after having walked with Jesus for 3.5 years.
Right.
But to answer the question, okay, so the great theological Ruth Williams says both, because it was in the grand scheme of things. The grand scheme of things is great. It's a great thing to interject. Of course, my counter argument would be there are choices that you can make, and neither one of those guys had to choose what they chose. They did so, and if I had to choose, it would definitely be denial. Because denial is one thing, I think betrayal is another, and I think I'm trying to forget the outcome of the two.
Right, because you didn't know it at the time.
I don't want to deal with the outcome of the two, because we know Judas hung himself and his insides exploded. Okay, Peter went on to be
Peter,
of the church outside of Paul, right? But just in terms of just life, I think denying, that someone, right, and betraying that person or handing them over to be arrested, I think that they're both crimes, but I think one is worse. Denial is almost like pleading the fifth, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We can figure it out later. But the idea that I'm going to literally hand my brother over to authorities or set him up, I'm gonna choose the denial one opposed to the betrayal.
Siobhan said it's hard when you know the outcome. That's true. That's what I've been saying the whole time.
Right.
Moby said something very interesting. He said, betray and deny. If you deny someone, aren't you betraying them? Boom.
I was thinking that, right? And I think that is a form of betrayal, but I think that in this particular context, we're talking about you are basically setting somebody up to be arrested
with
or-
intention.
Yeah, with intention.
Yeah,
You're literally handing them over to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you knew, and you beforehand, you had premeditated, like you beforehand,
right?
Plot, right?
Right.
The plot. That I think that's the variable that's very significant.
Right.
Like intention.
Right.
Peter is saying, "No, I won't do that. I won't do that." Then his flesh, his humanness, kind of overtook him in the moment, right in that moment, and he did do the very thing he said he wouldn't do.
Yep.
And so yeah, he needed grace and mercy at that time. But Judas, yes, Aunt Ruth, in the grand scheme, was a point. But did he have to, that he's in the before part saying, "Oh, I love you," and kiss you, "I love you," but all the while stabbing him in the back, you know what I mean, and making plans. That's
right.
It's got some extra on it.
You're at the Last Supper, bro. Come on, let's deal with it. You're at the Last Supper. And Jesus is literally telling you what's about to happen. And you did it anyway.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but even if you are Judas and don't know the outcome, you are turning him into authorities. What do you think is going to happen back in those days? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They already knew that.
Right.
That's what I was saying, Ash. Yes, sis. Right. It's very interesting. Delia said, "Deny him, and as for forgiveness, I wouldn't want to hurt him by betraying him. Betrayal has different levels of hurt and even death."
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. Peter was able to learn, grow, and recover. The JLW.
He was. Jesus said, "Peter, I'm going to pray for you that your faith fail not." And his faith, you could say, failed, which is a great message I preached one time. Not the message was great. The text was great.
We gotta get that.
But it didn't completely fail, because when he was tested, he understood that I've got the same Holy Spirit in me, and was able to do some phenomenal things.
Right. Would you rather be a fisherman or a tax collector? A fisherman or a tax collector? Would you rather be a fisherman or a tax collector?
My first thing that popped in my mind was fisherman, because I love fish, but I think I'm gonna have to go with tax collector.
Why?
They had that bank.
They did.
Nobody liked them, but who cares?
Zacchaeus was one too, wasn't he?
Was it? Yeah, Zacchaeus was what? Matthew was one.
Matthew, Paul, Saul.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the money. I'm gonna follow the money, because I can buy a bunch of fish after I counted my money.
That part. Siobhan said fishermen because they are poor, but they have more peace. Ashley said, "How much do each one pay?"
The tax collector pays a lot more.
Yeah,
money, honey.
that is so funny.
I'm gonna go with the tax collector. Nobody liked them.
Yeah, that part. But
here's the thing: you could be an honest tax collector.
Yeah,
right. You didn't have to steal.
Right.
I mean, they did. You know what I mean? But you could have been one. But I'm sure they still make more money than fishermen. Fishing is a very hard job. It's hard now. I mean, right now, like if you've ever watched them shows, these guys weren't fishing for sport. They were fishing for survival and as a part of industry. So they couldn't just go out and throw the line out and catch one fish. The Bible talks about the fact that Jesus tells when Peter runs to Jesus, he's naked.
Right.
They're toiling. They're working. So tax collector, you just show up, collect money.
Yep. I think, man, for me, I would say fisherman because of the peace associated with it, fishing. And it's time to go again, too. Got to go fishing.
Yeah, I'm ready to go with
you. Yeah, I would say fisherman. I don't want to deal with the people, man. Because they're not going to be trying to, you know what I mean?
Every time you show up, it's gonna mess up somebody's day.
Problem, brother. And I just don't agree with how we've been doing this tax jank, man. Erica says fishermen were self-sufficient, but weren't tax collectors thought to be dishonest? Yes. For me, yes. Appreciate you on that. Yeah.
They were. Well, the thing is, being a tax collector, from what we understand, first century, you were looked at almost, I'm gonna say, like a slaver in certain times, that you were basically betraying your people to give money to the people that basically had you in bondage, if you will, or had you and had you captive. And so what a lot of them would do was they would line their own pockets. So they only had to collect what was necessary, but they could collect pretty much whatever they demanded. And you didn't know the difference. And so from what I understand, the tax collectors were wealthy people. But you didn't have to. You didn't have to rob people. You know what I mean? But obviously, it's like working collections. Who wants to work collections? You call somebody, you're going to mess up their day. When can we expect payment? that type of thing. But
Moby said he wanted to be a tax collector and a fisher of men. Not a fisherman.
Super,
right.
super
Holy.
Super.
Tracy said, tax collector, show me the money.
Show me the money. I'm with
Siobhan
you.
said, right relationships over the money. Karen said, but was accountable to the government.
Yeah, you
and had to do bookkeeping. Yeah. He was accountable to the government and had to do bookkeeping. And Moby said, the final catch. JLW, Dorinda said, fishermen can't get fired. That part.
That's good. That's good.
I've worked most of my life and working in situations where I couldn't get fired. Like I work for myself.
Yep.
And that feeling is what I think the American dream is comprised of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
That's a great point.
Well, I took my hat off and the white balance changed in the camera. yeah. Woo.
That's a filmmaker joke.
Some red. Yeah, it is. My fault. It's a camera joke.
I get it though.
Change the whole white balance. All right, go ahead.
Good points though. I appreciate y'all in the chat.
Yeah, I think they are good points.
Tax collector for me, just me.
Tax collector.
I'm a numbers guy. I like math.
Right. And you would have the integrity to keep it honest.
I hope so. Unless I didn't like you, hit you around the head. Wow.
That part. Would you rather, pastor, be a sheep or a shepherd? A sheep or a shepherd?
As a pastor, I think that I should answer this as a I would rather be a shepherd. There is nothing about what I know about literal sheep, like actual sheep, that interests me.
Okay.
But I understand like the idea of being a spiritual sheep and that Jesus is my shepherd. But in the context, I'm assuming we're talking about being a human or an animal.
Right.
Look, Ronnie Joyner the second is watching. We got
my goodness.
We got all these heavy hitters tonight, man.
Right.
We doing something right. I don't know.
That part.
I'm a leader, not a follower. See, I'm with you on that. Cause yeah, I'm gonna go with the shepherd thing. I mean, I'm a pastor, so we're supposed to be shepherds.
Right.
Smell like sheep.
I think people would try to like to try to think of themselves as shepherds, and don't want to feel this. I didn't intend this pun, but the wool is pulled over their eyes,
right,
as being a sheep.
Right.
When most of us are, because of where we live, how we live in this culture that we're in,
Sheeple.
So
that's what
we are sheeple. That's true. We look at the news and take their word for it. So without doing investigation, study to show yourself approved. Don't take pastor's word for it. Go and look at it.
Yep.
And read it, understand it. So yeah.
There is. I have another message that I preached from Psalm 23, and one of the significant points about it is that when David wrote this psalm, we believe he was king, or he had already been anointed as king. But he references the first line is, "The Lord is my shepherd." So if he's talking about God as his shepherd, he's viewing himself, even though he's king, as a sheep. And when you go through it, he's talking about himself in the context as a sheep.
Oh my.
God does all of these things. He makes me the light. He does all these kind of things. He leads me beside. You know what I'm saying? But in order for the Lord to be his shepherd, he has to be sheep. So there's something very, I think, powerful about that, because he didn't really write this, from what we understand, when he was functioning as a shepherd. He wrote it when he was on the throne as a king, but then looking at himself in context, in comparison to our Lord, he understood the greatest thing that can be for me is for me to be led by him in the same way that I would be, that I would lead the sheep that he had under his care.
Right.
But sheep were they're such a valuable commodity for the wool, and they were always under attack. And, having studied some of this stuff, the responsibility of caring for the sheep really didn't fall on the sheep, though. It fell on the shepherd, which means that, you had to be able to do some things.
To whom much is given, much is what, Reverend?
Much is required.
That part. We don't want the requirement part. We just want the glory of it.
Exactly.
That's good. Exactly. And it's true. Some people,
so
not everyone.
There's a responsibility. If you're going to be a shepherd, you're going to be a leader, you got to have a rod and a staff. So
that part.
Hit some people.
That part. Ronnie, we doing good, brother. We love you, man.
Absolutely.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Blessings to you, brother.
Tell the rest of the fam we say hello. Man. I was looking at this because we talked about it a minute ago. Proverbs 4 and 7. I was just saying this kind of today. I say it all the time, actually. Wisdom is the principal thing, which is the A portion of a larger verse.
Yeah.
Therefore.
And
this is Bible study, right? Get wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. : and with all thy getting, get understanding. So yes, make sure that we use the whole of that scripture in our getting. Make sure. Many, would you rather marry Boaz? And there was about this sheep and shepherd. The sheeple people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to use any. We're being led. Right. We don't have to really think for ourselves. Or really do any. We're putting trust in the shepherd.
Yep.
Right. As a shepherd, if you're picking up that mantle, you have to use a different level of wisdom.
Yep.
And you have to be able to trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And trust that they won't follow you. You got the rod when they don't.
Yep.
And staff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's a lot more elements going on.
It is.
That wisdom, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big deal.
Whew. That's it. Would you rather marry Boaz or marry King Xerxes? Wow. First, you got to be in the book to know a little bit about that. Now, Xerxes, the king, I will help you with this. You can have it like we talked about 300 the other day.
Right.
And last week we talked about in Haggai, we talked about the Palestinians and we talked about the Persians.
Right.
And that king with the eyeliner, if you saw 300 and the earrings and the big army of demons and all them people, Xerxes.
Right.
Would you rather be him and get married to him or Boaz?
We're going to leave this question for the ladies only.
Only ladies, talk to us. Now, Xerxes got all the money.
Boaz wasn't broke, though.
He wasn't.
He won a king.
He wasn't. This is what I'm trying to say right here. Boaz can give you this. Xerxes can give you this. Huh?
Ladies.
What'd you say?
Because if I answer, y'all gonna think something weird about me. So I don't need to marry.
Karen said Proverbs 4. Oh, I think it's a delay. All right, 4 and 7. Yes. Definitely the shepherd. Moby said Xerxes got too many. Moby said Colin Powell. Colon, but he said colon.
I got it. I saw
brother,
it.
Y'all got to know who was the person is. You already know it's more to that.
Connected it all the way.
All the way.
We're gonna let only the ladies answer this one.
Yeah, but you got to share. Siobhan Miles said Xerxes got too many, but you got to share. Oh my.
So who would I rather be? I think I would rather. That's kind of tough. Let me think about it. I was going to say Xerxes at first, but then again, I'm supposed to answer without knowing the outcome.
That part.
But kind of knowing the outcome, Boaz becomes, in the line of Jesus, which is very, very wonderful because he married a Moabite. Uh-oh, preach.
Uh-oh. Talk good.
He wasn't supposed to marry them.
You what? I was just
Boaz without his cousins, dumbass and broke ass. You don't have to marry all three.
That part.
You only had to marry one. We got
Bag lady, like
something happened on our
it
IG.
did. It went out.
But that's good. That's good.
Oh, it's almost time. That's why.
Oh, okay, yes, right. Candle step there.
All right.
All right. Well, we coming to the conclusion.
I'll post it in a second. If you're on the TNT sessions,
not a physical reference.
We're gonna get back to that one. I gotta write the captions and all that in there, and it will be posted.
It'll be posted.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Xerxes. I mean, who gets to be a king? Speaking of, I was I don't know if you guys got the opportunity to watch or even care about the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth, who just took her flight. But I watched a lot of it. The funeral was amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
She should have gave back or made a kind of thing with giving back what she took. Yeah. Okay. Right. Sorry. I made a post. Let me read my post. Let me read my post. I made a.
The question was: are you referring to property?
I'm referring to property. There, she had 2 gems in the crown, several gems in the crown, several. These two, one of them, or a piece, one is worth over $400 million from Africa. She had another gem in her crown that was worth over $400 million from India. 2 jewels in the crown jewels, almost $1 billion. Just 2. Just that she was wearing on her head.
Only 3 people have touched or are allowed to touch the crown. That is the queen herself, the crown jeweler, and the archbishop who crowned her.
That part. Nobody can touch it because they might take it. They might do what you did.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. So I'm saying that, and I have had a number of discussions with some people about the queen and certain things, but looking at the opulence of being a king, I'm like my mother, I guess. I'm very weird in that I can find a reason to worship at any moment. And I was watching this and just imagining our king, the king of all kings. And if this is what they're doing for a woman who obviously reigned for 70 years, which is, pretty amazing, I just could imagine what our end is going to look like when we're kind of having that marriage supper of the Lamb. It just made me go to a place where I was like, man, this is amazing.
Really?
And you can have your opinions about the queen. I didn't watch it because of my opinions about her. I watched it because I wanted to just witness the splendor, the grandeur, the opulence. My brother was talking to us because we are still, still kind of dealing with the residual effects of the loss of our uncle, and will be for until, but he was making a statement about the opulence of death, in that you, in just any almost regular circles, particularly African-American circles, we take time. There's almost a week long of something, the setting up, or all of that, and then there's going to be whatever happens before the service in terms of a viewing, whatever. Then there's the service, and we spend time trying to send people off the right way. And just the idea again of being a king of a country. So I'm gonna take Xerxes over Boaz.
All right.
Yep. My Aunt Ruth said she had a fortune because she was related to Jesus. That's what they say. They say they're directly related to them.
Okay.
That's what they say. Okay.
Work that. I like that about you.
That's what they say.
I do like that about you.
Let's just take all of our stuff back out of the museums.
Listen,
If we were to get our stuff, it would never
it won't be no more stuff.
allow us to exist. My dear sister says Xerxes, Boaz is overrated. Talk to us about the overrated Boaz. You gotta back that one up.
Yeah, talk, sis.
Before we get,
Trying to,
because we're coming to the end or something like that.
Here it is.
Boaz is overrated. I like that. Somebody's reading their Bible.
This is for the queen.
Okay, we got some sentiments. God rest her.
This is, hold on, listen, just listen to this for 1 second.
Put a mic up to it.
Dude, there's been British and American guys just in Egypt taking up pharaohs for like 100 years, which is bananas. Like, can you imagine a bunch of dudes from Egypt came over here and just dug up Benjamin Franklin? It's like, check it out, it's like one of their best guys, yeah. He was just in the ground. It's pretty sick, right? Finders keepers, yeah. I think this guy like low-key started this place. This guy rips, dude, yeah. Get this motherfucker in a boat, take it back to Cairo.
It's a lot of beeps. Now, that was something I was trying to make a point and post about them taking things.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me post it.
Okay.
They wouldn't let me post it.
It's the queen.
The queen, but the throne owns most of the land on the whole earth. Well, they claimed it.
Biggest
They
land.
claim it. They claim it.
They were claiming it for their country.
It's not fair.
Colonized
It's not
30%
fair.
of Africa.
Let's just take all of our stuff back out of the museums. Gregory Porter, take me to the alley. That part. Bro, I got like 2 more questions.
All right, Deuce,
Let's see.
2 more. We
Or
gotta get
3,
them in.
2 or 3. All right, let's see.
If we don't get them both, we'll get them next time. We got 2.
We are. We're going to
At
get
least
them.
2.
At least 2. All right. I think I do. I don't know what this thing is doing. Go here. Would you rather collect leftover grain in the freezer, wheat fields, or help convince the king to reverse his edict to kill all the Jews?
Say the first one again if you can.
Would you rather collect leftover grain in the freezer wheat fields? I'm thinking that this is
Joseph? Is this
yep,
Joseph? Okay,
that's what
all
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Or convince the king to reverse his edict to kill all the Jews.
So this is the Moses
It would be
story, I guess.
Joseph of Moses. Would you rather be that? I mean, you are Joseph, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go with JoJo. I'm gonna go ahead with JoJo on that one.
Would you rather be?
I'm gonna go
that?
with JoJo. But if they really should have said, would you rather spend 13 years in prison or live under the threat? Oh, Esther and Joseph is what? Okay, I got it. Yeah, Esther did that. Okay.
Jorinda's a prophetess. Did you know that? She's
I
Bible study.
Esther did actually go to her husband and convince him to reverse her own death sentence and the death sentence of her people. And it changed the course of history as we speak. That's great. I should have known. I should have made the Esther reference. The Moses reference is also one.
Also, yep.
That was when he was trying to. It wasn't all of the Jews though. It was just the boys that are under a certain age. So, given the opportunity to be Esther or Joseph, obviously I'm gonna take Joseph, just because I am Joseph. But I would take Joseph, even if this wasn't a gender-related topic, which is not really a gender-related topic, just because I think his story is phenomenal. Not that hers isn't, but again, certain people fascinate me. His does, to become, second in power in Egypt, the most powerful nation in the land. In this, what we'll say he's an overnight success because it happened in a day, even though it took him 13 years to kind of get there. And to basically kind of bring your families together, restore the relationships with your brother, your father, Yeah, that's a pretty big one for me. But the
I'm
Esther
a
story is awesome.
I'm a leave my coat kind of guy. So Joseph for me.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. That
Yeah, and
story is
again,
great.
we've been saying this: should these options be considered in the past or the present? And we're trying to. Obviously,
Right.
we can't erase our memories, right?
Right.
But we try to put you in the story. So essentially, would you rather be in the throes of jail for 13 years, the peril of that, not knowing whether or not any day you could be executed, because you literally seen somebody with you, had a dream or interpreted a dream, one of them head was gone, right,
Right.
in a day, or Esther knows that if she does the wrong thing, like Vashti, she could be excommunicated, her head could be chopped off, anything. So
Real
both of them
simple.
are in these very precarious life or death situations, to where you've got to depend essentially on the favor that God has put in you, what God has put in you
Yeah.
to save your life and the lives of everybody that's connected to you. So they're equally perilous. But if I had to have a preference, I would go with Joseph.
Yeah, I would say Joseph for sure for me too. Wow. That's good though, the way you unpack that.
Yep. Thank you, Jorinda, for bringing the Esther narrative to the
The
forefront.
last question is, would you rather? Now let me paint this. There
Since
is a
Simone said she did
savior.
both.
There's a savior coming, and he is now born. The angels are singing, and everybody is glad about it and aware. Would you rather be a shepherd or one of the magi?
Mm.
Would you rather be a shepherd or one of the magi? An angel came to the shepherds. So we're assuming, let's say he is one of the shepherds that witnessed that. Or be
Yeah, this one is tough for me, but I think I'm going to go with Shepherd. And the reason why is because so the Shepherd story again, very fascinating to me in that they're just hanging out doing what they do. Then angels appear to them and kind of unprovoked, unannounced, they tell them what had just happened. Then they tell them that the sign that what they're going to see is real is they're going to essentially go and see a child who was the king of all the world, wrapped in swaddling clothes in a manger. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's like if you've ever had the Almighty tell you some things and tell you what the sign of it is going to be, like, are you kidding me? It's one thing to see them, but it's another thing for them to tell you exactly what is about to happen. And then you go see it, and it's like, wow, we just witnessed the greatest aspect of life ever, right? Because we literally just saw the King of all kings born, and he just came to us to tell us. So the idea to be able to see and talk to the angels, to see the newborn Jesus wrapped in swaddling clothes, like a real, like the first nativity, like the real one.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. See,
Yeah,
the,
me
the,
too.
the Magi weren't at the nativity. We got to get that right. Got to get them out.
Get them out of their yard, please.
But we understand the
Yeah,
spirit.
right.
But
That don't
I'm
make
gonna
it
go
right.
shepherds. I'm gonna go shepherds.
I'm gonna say shepherds too. Jorinda says shepherd because she want to see the angels. I think I would say the same thing.
Take me to the fields.
I want to be, yeah, I want to be a shepherd because I want to be able to talk or be like you said, doing my work, minding my business, and get that revelation, get that word spoken to me, and then go and see it manifested.
Yep. The Magi though is a great story because they're scientists. Uh, they've been studying this phenomenon that's on the way, that's coming, and the idea that they found the precise measurements of this. They're from the east. They're not from the same town or whatever. Um, and from what we understand, the star moved and kind of directed them, and then they were warned of God in a dream, uh, not to go back to Herod, and there was a part of that that essentially kind of helped saves Jesus' life from this guy, this assassin that's trying to kill him. There's also in the Christmas story, in that we say three wise men because there are three gifts named. They opened up their treasures, is what the word says, and presented him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We have no idea how many there were. There could have been 20 or 30 of them. We don't know. But that idea of traveling and kind of finding the precise discovery is a big deal too, because they were looking for it. The shepherds were just kind of chilling. These guys were on a search. And it's like, if you've been looking for something for a minute and you find exactly what you're looking for, that could be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm just, if I'm choosing, I'm gonna go shepherds.
Yeah. I think you made a great point about the Magi. I think you made a great point about that. I would like to think that I would be able to, because the shepherds also were given information and then went searching.
Yep. Right.
So they both have that same kind of thing.
Right.
And then, but the shepherds didn't have any reference. The Magi had, like you were saying, they were studying a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were compiling information and then going to validate or invalidate the information and kind of solidify it that way.
Right.
And we're giving dream. They did have some influence.
Right.
But the shepherd was just minding their business. I mean, they were doing their due diligence, like working, and then they were told something. So I'm trying to, again, I would like to think that faith, I want to have that, to be given something, be objective enough to receive it, and then go on the word of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Go see it.
That's kind of big. That's kind of big.
It's huge. It's
definitely increasing the faith.
Right.
Your faith.
Yep.
Shepherds smell like the sheep they keep. Yeah. When I got there, though, I'm getting some of that frankincense and myrrh. Talk good. If you have a spouse and y'all are both with the sheep, then you don't stink.
You both smell like each other. So I guess, if both of y'all eat garlic, then nobody's breath stink.
Nobody breath stink. Y'all are funny in this chat tonight.
Yep. What's wrong with being the Magi? Nothing.
Nothing is wrong with being the Magi.
We
Nothing at all.
That the Magi is another word I'm using these days. I don't know why. Super dope thing to be.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, I'm gonna ask you a question that's kind of not related. So if you could scientifically go and find the firmament or a piece of it, or if you could be supernaturally directed to, you know what I'm saying, like to see it, like which one would it be? Like, I've been doing my research on one woman. I know if I do blah, 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 it's here, right? Or I could just be out chilling at the mall, and then some angel shows up and says, "Nah, this is due to one more."
Yeah, I think shepherd for me still.
Yeah, I would say shepherd.
I mean, yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you why, particularly with that question. Because I mean, obviously you're gonna find it, right?
Right.
But when you can kind of make yourself be convinced that your calculations are correct. They do it all the time. But if something kind of just shows up and says, "Nah, this is it. This is your sign. Go there, boom, and watch." That's a bigger deal to me.
I agree.
I like traveling and having treasures. That's good, because if you give them, that means you have them, and you can't get nowhere broke.
That part. You need to beat the like and share and subscribe. Yes, need to do this again. The interaction is wonderful.
We love y'all, man.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Make sure. We actually, I guess I didn't say this last week, but we won the best documentary featurette in the Rome International Film Festival. Jesse,
let's get some hand claps and some likes.
But thank you.
The great Jesse. Thanks, Bill Russell is the GOAT, is here.
Kareem.
Thanks, Kareem was the GOAT.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, 23-2-3.
I think y'all need Earl Manigault. That part. The greatest to never do it. I mean, Len Bias. All right. It's true.
I'd rather do it myself, not being shown. I like that. I like the adventurer. I like that, that, but that's kind of great. Like, your calculations figured it out. I think that's great. yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
To my brothers. These guys are doing some amazing things. They're right here in VA, making stories about VA, and it's only going to get better. I just know it. I feel it in my spirit, and I just know that God has more in store because He is able to do exceeding.
No ly.
No lies.
The ly is a lie.
ly abundantly,
Exceeding
above all that you
abundantly,
can ask
comma.
or think, according to the power that works within us.
That's good. That's good right there. Yes, pray it correctly so it has more that was intended to have. We love you. Like, share, that you follow us because we going somewhere. International award. She said, yes, thank you, Karen. Boom, we there.
Boom.
Listen,
boom.
Next week, you all said it, so we're going to do it. We're going to talk about Proverbs 31, that virtuous woman. I was telling you earlier, the Hebrew word for that, the translation is literally valor. She's a woman of valor. So being a virtuous woman has more context than we've been giving it. And like we do at TNT, we're going to unpack it. We're going to exegete it and
read it.
Empower these women to be in their rightful places as the queens they are needed. Right?
The greatest thing that we can do for a community is to empower our women to be the best that they can be.
Listen, it's the truth. If you want the boys to pull their pants up, we need some guys to crack some heads, but the way to get it done is for the women to say, no, I'll not address you or let you address me until you put a belt on. I promise you, in a week, all the boys will have their pants tied up to their neck with a belt going around their neck like this, trying to keep them pants up. It takes women.
That's it. The power, the influence.
The onus is not on the women solely, but just understand what I'm saying. They have the power to do it, to change it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody says she was a housewife. Interesting. We're going to talk about that next week.
Hey, she was a housewife.
Okay.
And still a woman of valor.
Okay.
Protector, a keeper.
Okay.
Talking good now. Listen, come next week and be released from the Eve syndrome and get in your rightful place as a virtuous woman.
A woman of valor.
Hey, that's good.
We have an open invitation for any woman that would like to come sit on the couch with us.
We can make space.
We can make space. We would love to have you here. And again, we have discussion, not debate. We love you. We love you to life.
That part.
And we want to encourage you, admonish you to be, again, we're getting seconded by a superintendent. I have some women participate in that one.
Trying to, Reverend.
Might turn into a series.
Trying to,
enough of y'all come through.
Yeah.
So let us know if you're going to come. Don't just show up. Let us know if you're going to come.
That part.
Give you a proper introduction. We can be ready.
Aware for that. Yeah. She was a
somebody
boss.
said she was a housewife. Somebody said she was a boss.
That part. We're going to be ready for it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's either or. It could be both and.
We've been going almost an hour and a half. You know, they're going to cut us off on Instagram.
That's okay.
We love y'all.
We love y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with
I'm going to put it on the podcast. Don't forget, follow it. We just started this as a podcast on anchor.fm, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify. Follow us because we're going somewhere. Hey, we're trying to anyway. And with God's help, we will be there. All right. We got to boom it out. I need everybody to boom it in the chat.
We need crazy explosions.
Crazy explosions. Y'all boom it out. Listen, I'm going to leave you with this one particular thought right before we boom it out. Do right because it's the right thing to do. And sometimes quiet is the loudest necessary volume. All right. Wisdom is the principal thing. Like we said, wisdom, and choose it. Therefore, there was a therefore in there.
There's a therefore.
That means all kinds of more to it. Mm-hmm. All right. And all that get understanding.
Yep.
Let's boom.
Y'all ready?
The night.
The night.
Boom! Y'all look at this thing. We love you to life. All right. Peace.
See y'all next
Share
week.
this right here with somebody.